Hey, what's going on, everybody? Too stupid to win here. It's been a while since I've had time to pay attention to my factory in Upland, and I really wanted to do a Christmas in July sale at Spooky Dookies, but I just never got time to move my assets around. My factory has been churning out more and more map assets, getting ready for the Halloween season and the Christmas season, but I've had a lot of just running a factory and a Metaventure is challenging in Upland, and just really wanted to do a little live stream. Whoever joins, talk to you about whatever as I'm moving my map assets from my factory in San Francisco to my showrooms in Chicago, London, Los Angeles, and Queens. I do have a showroom in San Francisco. It just doesn't seem like a lot of sales happen in my San Francisco store versus the other stores. So that was just one of the things that I figured I would do here. I don't know how long I'm going to do it for, but we can jump right in. Go ahead and share my screen. All right. In the wonderful city of Upland in San Francisco, I'll zoom right into my factory. Very unoriginal, the UpX Podcast Manufacturing, or you could say it's great brand recognition. Either way, that's fine. I have all these assets that need to be moved from the factory. It's sometimes it feels overwhelming. I sit down and I look at this and I just wonder, how am I going to move all these assets, get them to showrooms? I do have inventory, so that's the nice thing. I have a lot of inventory to get out there. So not too concerned about that, but it just takes forever. And I'll probably say this 4 or 5 times during the show. I wish there was a way in Upland to go ahead and make bulk transfers. If I want to move, say I want to move these blue Santa surprises, I wish there was a way to grid it out, maybe take a 2x2 grid or a 3x3 grid, 4x4, 5x5, whatever, or just a row of 10 and be able to transfer it. Just say, I'm taking it from this property, put it to this property. It all fits there. I don't know if it's an issue with smart contracts or function, but hopefully one day that is changed and fixed. I do keep an inventory list because I don't know why I keep an inventory list, but I do keep an inventory. I have a list of all my map assets here, and I have my different locations, and I total up the assets of how many I have where, and I just break down how many of which design I have at which shop, so I know where to move stuff around. And I have it for my Christmas, and I have it for my Halloween. And as you can see over here, I have plenty of both to stock my stores. And yeah, I got a lot of stocking to do and a lot of time to move. I don't know if I want to do Christmas in July or Christmas in August, since I missed July, and stock up there, or continue to move Halloween stuff to get ready for the Halloween season here in October. I expect to see sales start to pick up September, October timeframe. And while we're here doing this, just throw out any questions you have or thoughts or opinions. I figured, why do this by myself when I can share with the Upland community the funds of running a factory and a Metaventure in Upland. So I think, looking over my inventory, I'm going to start moving some of my Christmas stuff over to my different shops, and we'll get that rolling right here. And the fun part's always where to start. The presents just go on for days and days and days. All right, we'll go ahead. I got purple. I don't have many of the purple Santa surprises at any of my stores. And I kind of go in the order of which is the easiest to arrange in. And Los Angeles is very easy. My shop in Los Angeles is very easy to arrange. So we'll go ahead and start moving these purples. I currently have 2. It's interesting that this looks purple on screen and you zoom in and it ends up looking more bluish. We'll go ahead and move this to Bay Street. We'll go ahead and move 8 of these. This is always the fun part. And I might have some OCD because I have to have everything neatly lined up. I can't have them scattered, and I don't want to just go ahead and throw them on the property and rearrange them later. All about appearances. And if you missed the show last night, we had John Morris from Nowhere on, and we talked about some of the cool things they're doing with 3D objects and the potential in Upland of maybe having your showroom as a space. And this is all hypothetical, nothing's been confirmed, but being able to upload your map assets as 3D objects and then place them in showrooms. So not only can you buy it from the Metaventures, but instead of walking around or zooming around somebody's lot of things, you can walk around the showroom, set that up, have some cool displays. I would really look forward to that. All right, 2 down and 7 more to go. And it's one at a time, and there's no quick way about it. And one of the discussions I always have is I made these map assets not as NFT collections. I made them as map assets, things to decorate your yard with. So it's not about the mint number to me. It's about just having things available to decorate your property in Upland. These all have high mints, but it's also painstaking to move these one at a time over and over and over again. And I get the NFT collectors, and I get that standpoint of view. I like to collect rare items. I like to collect things with limited mint runs. And that wasn't the designer concept behind my collections or my assets. I won't even call them collections. My assets was just so you have these available to decorate your property and be festive in the holiday season. I got some new models coming out for Halloween. They are in the works. Cutting it close. I haven't had to submit a design in a while. I'm not sure how long the approval process has been of late. I've heard it's been a lot quicker than what it was. Hopefully there's no backlog and I can get these Halloween models approved. And it's nothing spectacular. They're just variants of the designs that I already have. I do have some different names for the gravestones and have some different fonts that they're in, and excited to have a couple of different variants of these gravestones out for people to choose. And you can pick the sayings that you like, which are the funniest, and hopefully Upland approves them. I don't think any of them are crazy or offensive, but you never know. We'll see. And here we go. Moving another one. And I do have people ask me from time to time ideas, thoughts on how they can get their Metaventures up and running, their factories up and running. I do use Toss Shack for my designs on my map assets. It's either learning Blender yourself, finding a talented artist out there that's available. There are plenty of them out there in Upland to contact, and always looking to make things for the creators. And there's plenty of different ways to go about it. You can do profit shares with the individuals. You can just pay them a flat fee to make them. And move from there. I did work a profit share out with the Toss Shack, so I give them a percentage of the sales each month, which works out very well for everybody. Keeps them happy, keeps me happy, keeps me with a big supply of everything. It is very strange to sit here without Thank Me Later and talk through everything. Just used to having that second person here with me to have a conversation with. I'm more of a conversationalist and drive the conversation than somebody that will sit here and talk. It's very different too. Different mindset when you are providing everything to talk about versus being able to have a conversation about Upland. And anybody has any questions that's watching, please throw them in the comments and I'll happily answer them. And for people just joining, I just had some free time this Friday afternoon to move some map assets around from my factories to my showroom. I just wanted to show everybody that hasn't had the experience of running a factory the joys of moving map assets from one spot to another. So let's see here. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Got to add more to it. So one more, and then I'll touch up the other ones. And then we'll move more of the purple Santa surprises to another showroom. Break up the mints a little. And I know last time I just ran out of assets. I think I spent like 3 hours on a Saturday or Sunday moving assets, preparing for Christmas in July, and I just never got anything listed in my showrooms. And July came and went quick. This whole summer actually flew by. I was very surprised at how quickly the summer has gone by, and it's pretty close to being 2 months from G Week in Vegas, and I can't believe how fast that went by also. All right. Now, let's see here. I'll go ahead and change the inventory. Los Angeles, I have my stash of Santa surprises purple. Go ahead, change that to 10, and we'll go ahead and move the stuff to Queens next. So go ahead, copy paste that, jump back over here. And now off to Queens. I mean, this is very exciting stuff. I know, it's just captivating. Always fun. Like here, I was changing all my Halloween stuff. I moved it all nice and turned it all around. And with my Christmas stuff, I'm like, nope, I'm keeping it at the same angle, and I'm just going to move it right over here just like this. I did not want to spend time rotating it around and around to get it all perfect. That's a little off, and that will drive me crazy, but I have too many to do to be that much of a perfectionist right now. So hope everybody's going to have a good weekend this weekend. Hopefully enjoy the last 2 months of summer. Some people's summer just finishes at the end of this month for them because it starts getting cold, but I know some of us, it continues a little bit longer. The teachers out there, I know there's a handful of them. They're getting ready to go back to school, and it's short summer. I know some teachers, they just got out of school at the end of June, and they'll be, I don't know when they go back. I think they told me they go back around Labor Day, which still isn't that far away. But shout out to all the teachers. I know parents that get to stay home with their kids in the summer, like, when school start again? You can love your kids so much, but they can get a little crazy. And it's actually very quiet for having a house full of kids right now, and they're not fighting. And I should be scared. They have friends coming over this weekend, and their rooms are straight up mess, wrecked. and they were supposed to clean the room all week. And today I told them, hey, you guys have to go clean it. You had all week to clean it. I was the meanie. So no devices, no playing with friends, no watching anything. And they are actually working together in their rooms, cleaning it right now. They might be sick. I don't know. No, but they are pretty good kids. You can reason with them and talk to them about it. Oh, and on and on and on we go. I think I might get carpal tunnel from moving these assets. I need to readjust. There we go. Lower my position just a little, get a little even with the desk to take the strain off the bend of the wrist. And how'd everybody do in the Paris opening? Did you get some good stuff? I was surprised that, well, I wasn't surprised, as small as some of those neighborhoods were and short as those streets were, that we had that many collections revealed. And you figure that the rarer collections would be revealed first because you have less properties in them. So I've been streaming now for about 16 minutes, and I have not even, I might have moved 16. I'm getting a couple per minute. I did do a little talking in the intro. I should have tracked the time when I actually started moving the first asset to see the average amount of time, how many assets I was moving per 5 minutes. Because I'm weird like that. I like to know those kind of random things. And hopefully this doesn't discourage people from wanting to run their own factory and Metaventure showroom. But yet at the same time, I did want people to understand what it really takes to get a asset from manufactured to the showroom and actually listed. I'll do some listings here after I move a bunch of assets, because once again, that's individual at a time. You can't select 10 and say I want to list all these in UpX for this price. That would be very nice to do, along with the multi-asset moves between properties. All right. Is that 10? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Nope, not 10. I did clear out all of my Christmas stuff at the end of June, right before July. And I was excited that I wiped those out, and I dumped a bunch of stuff in my factory to continue to manufacture in case I had a successful Christmas in July sale. And this is what's been churning out over that time. And then it's depressing to look and see that I have all this stuff that I have to move once again. But I have inventory. It's better to have inventory and low demand at the time, so you can situate yourself up for success instead of having not enough inventory and a high demand. Let's see here. So that gives me 10. So we'll go over here. We'll put 10 in my Queen's shop. All right. We'll go ahead and go to London next. Go ahead and copy that. Come back over to this tab. All right. And we're moving again. Off to London. Minimal movement. I don't have to change the asset around. So that's nice. In inventory, I got 9 of everything there in London, with the exception of green. I only have 7. So get it going. And then I do want to expand my showrooms. Once again, it takes time, and Upland keeps making UpX things where I have to spend my money. I have to partake in the new city release. I didn't get to partake in Paris. I was in a work meeting at the time. Usually I schedule my lunch for city release time so I can eat my lunch in Mint during my lunchtime, but didn't work out that way this time. And that's okay. I do have some UpX saved up, and there are still properties available to buy. And there are still, what did we say? 8 more collections to be revealed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so there's 8 more collections still to be revealed on this launch. And there's still properties to buy for that. Be excited to see how those play out over the next few days, next couple of weeks. Now, were people surprised when Upland said that Paris was going to be 25% less expensive than London, or was that aligned with what your thoughts were? Do you hold London as a bigger city than Paris? Both of them are very old cities with a lot of history. It's great that we have them in the game this early on. Definitely excited about that. Can somebody leave a comment right now so I know that I'm seeing comments? Because it's just very strange to have people watching and not get anything as a comment. Now most of the people are watching on X, so thanks, shout out to the people watching on X. And I know I can see comments from both. Every once in a while, StreamYard has an issue with seeing comments. I hate when I do that. Try to get with as little scrolls possible and grabbing the map asset, but sometimes I miss and click the property. Because I'd really hate to stop the stream just so I can see. Oh, there we go. EMV Media, thank you for giving me the hello so I can see comments. You guys are probably at work watching me then. I won't tell. That's okay. That's why Dizzy created the Dizzy Deuce. He runs to the bathroom and collects his UpX or buys a property really quick, and out he goes. Yeah, but I do want to find key locations. There's a lot of great properties, and when I personally pick showrooms or properties for showrooms, I like picking really large properties. I believe, and that's just because of the style of map assets that the brand that I'm creating with my map assets is. It's more for yard decoration. I want to have a lot of inventory so people will have the ability to buy it for their properties. And it's not about having a limited mint number. It's more about having the assets out there to buy. I look for large size properties around 500 up square or greater. I like placing showrooms there, and I do have a large factory, and this property is actually a good size, 4,600 up square. Good size property so I can hold a lot of inventory. Thing I don't like though was when I drew the inventory lot, it's really a straight line across here. This is just wasted space. I can move things to the property. Interesting thing is I would really like to relocate some of these assets here and just stash them right here on the property, but I can't send from my manufacturing yard at the factory to the manufacturing property itself. It would be nice because I'd love to just move. I set up. I'd just like to move this and move it to that spot. But since the location of the item's already listed here, I can't type in 198 Capitol Avenue. It won't let me select it. I can move it to another property and move it back, but that's too much work. But factory problems, least of the worries. That could be, I'm not highly concerned. It doesn't keep me up at night or anything. Seriously, it doesn't. This one's just a little nuance, just thinking about when you select your factories and draw out your factory lines. Things to think about. You know, some of the jaggedy properties don't make the best for factories because of that fact of having to draw the box where your assets will go coming out of the factory. All right, and we need one more. Thanks. And then we have, now if you wanted to do smaller collections, smaller runs, 25, 50 mint, 100 mint map assets, you can definitely have the smaller showrooms. I'd still recommend a big factory just so you have the ability to, the bigger the factory, the more sparklet you can stake in it, the more sparklet you stake in it, the faster you can churn your items out. And I always recommend getting the largest factory that you can afford. I made that close enough for government work. Okay. That one's going to bug me. It's bugging me, and it's a little too obvious, so we'll make it a little better. You can call it my OCD. All right. So at this point in time, we have, oh, I forgot. I didn't count. Oh yeah, that was my 10th one. All right, we're good. Never mind. So we got 10 there. So in the first 26 minutes, we have moved 24 assets. Let's see if we can pick up the pace here. All right, going back to the inventory tab, go ahead, update that to 10. Oh, San Francisco, I only have 5, so I'll go ahead and go to San Francisco. Get 5 more there, even that out, give everybody a nice little number 10. Then, I guess I could have done more. Or I can even out some of these other ones. I'm an even type person. I need the even numbers. I was good with 2 kids. My wife wanted a 3rd kid. And when we had the 3rd kid, I was like, the even number was it just wasn't sitting good with me. So we ended up having 4 kids. I know, strange, weird. That's all right. This is the original. This was before Thank Me Later inspired me with the Spooky Dookie name. Hats off to him. And he's like, hey, that's a no-brainer. How is it not called Spooky Dookies? It's like, I never thought of it. So thank you. I'm thanking you later. And I'll thank you again in the future. All right. Slowly but surely, we're moving these assets. It doesn't look like I've made a dent in these at all. That's the sad thing. That is the sad thing. This one is more organized chaos. I don't think I'll be able to squeeze 10 in here. Might have to do some rearranging. Slow down the process. All right, I've been listening to the same track loop for 20 minutes, so let's change that up. Change up the music. All right. Now, has anybody been competing in the speed challenge for Track Heroes? I know that I really love the concept there. I just haven't had time to one play it enough to be good at it, and then 2 find 2 people or find a team that will take me on as their dead weight anchor. But it really more comes down to time. So even if you are doing it, I wouldn't be able to help out. So, but I do like the gamification and the games that they're bringing in and the work with Nowhere. Super excited. Left House got his theater. and he's able to show his amazing works there. And looking forward to those blueprints coming out, because I'll definitely have a theater. We'll look to run the podcast out of there, unless Upland takes the idea that Thank Me Later threw out there last night of using Alamo Square as a plaza, as a park, an open park, like they do, and have it as a space designed by the Alamo Square neighborhood, and using the features of Nowhere to help 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Oh, I was actually going to get 10 in there. But that would be cool for us to do the podcast there from Alamo Square. Troina was the one that came up with the whole idea of getting people together and buying out neighborhood areas and building a community around that. And that was very early on. That was 2020, like springtime 2020, I think April 2020. He sent the email to myself and Thank Me Later, asking for our thoughts and input on it, and we loved it. And then he reached out to some OG players that unfortunately haven't stayed with the game, and we were able to buy out that neighborhood pretty quickly. I wish I would have bought more, but I was trying to be generous to let other people get in there and buy stuff. So, all right, we updated 10 there. Let's go ahead and jump in over here. 5, got 10 there. All right. What to do next? I don't have any silver presents at the stop, so we'll go ahead and do some silver. Once again, Chicago's pretty easy, so we'll just start in. I always start in Chicago, though. San Francisco has a lot of lower mint stuff. It seems like Queens has a lot of things that I always look for if I buy something from a Metaventure. It always seems like Queens is the spot that I need to go. They always seem to have what I'm looking for. I don't know what it is with the Metaventure owners in Queens. They get their hands on the good stuff, or if that's where their home base is. We'll do the silvers, and we'll start out in London. Let's go back to London. Locations. All right. Back over here. And the silver, it says that it's silver. I know they look white, but these are silver. And go ahead and start stacking them in London. Move 10 at a time. Yeah. Slowly but surely. And then we have next week on the podcast, we do have Elijah Judah coming on the show. Excited to have him on. Nice seeing him in Vegas. And if you ever get the chance to go to a Genesis Week Live, highly recommend it. It's fun meeting the people from the community. And I am going to have to create a banner. Watch this. Be back in 2 minutes. I want it to scroll. Add banner. All right. I will be right back. Got to go check on some things as I move stuff. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Alrighty. Had to check on the status of the rooms and how clean they were getting. So back at it, back moving map assets. Oh, yeah. Then working to get a couple more guests on the show in the coming weeks. Still working on a new format for data, and we'll see how that materializes. Have some new ideas. Any data you guys would like to see, guys and gals. Any specific type of data you want to see on cities and like us to discuss and dissect, please let me know. I'm always open to those ideas, because we want to be the best show out there for the community to help you be successful in Upland. It's been a while since we talked strategy, talked data. The floor data is just very hard now with the JOs and the time it takes to eliminate the jail properties from the floor. I'm working on a couple of different things, so we'll see how that turns out. Yeah, sometimes it can be pretty mind-numbing to just move one asset after another. When early on in the neighborhood competitions, I was moving one of my map assets, takes 4,500 or 45,000 sparklet to manufacture. So it's got a pretty good weight for the neighborhood when you want to work on having assets added into a neighborhood with the sparklet hours and part of that calculation. But I was moving like 200 of these anvils to my properties to help out the different neighborhoods, and I would get up in the morning and move 25 or so in the morning before work, and I'd do that for a couple of days into the month. And then we were experimenting with the different time frames of if you moved it earlier in the month, if you moved it later in the month, but it's just painstaking. And I was doing that to help neighborhoods out, and I neglected my factory. That's how all this mess up here started to stockpile. And I really should start tracking how long it takes me to move all this. But I also continue to manufacture. I keep the manufacturing machine churning, just spitting more and more items out. So I always have an inventory ready. And then it just comes down to moving it and getting it listed in the stores. That is something. Stop doing that. There we go. It's been about 2 hours since I looked at the price of sparklet, but right now, 4.275 cents, down 14% over 24 hours. Still not too concerned about it. Definitely early on the market release. You can't get it everywhere in the United States. You got to use Uniswap. Not concerned about it. It's still early on. You still have giveaways going on, and just not financial advice, but continue to DCA your holdings, and you will be fine in the end. Yeah. It's been hot and muggy here lately, so it's go outside for a little bit, do a little yard work, come back in. I really like the company I work for. We work 4 10-hour days, Monday through Thursday. I really enjoy that, knocking out the work week in 4 days. It does make for some long days, and usually coming right home. It's right home to dinner prep, kid activities, bedtime routine, and then doing it all over, but I do like the ability of having all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. In the summer, it's really nice. That gives me an extra day with the kids home on summer break, and it's just not the weekend. Um, we try to do fun things, but sometimes when they just don't clean their room, kind of takes away from it. And we've had on and off rain today, so that also makes it no fun. But we have some fun activities planned for the weekend, not stressing it. And my daughter is still bugging me to do another opening to the show. I told her I think about it. I might let her do one before, but she's got to come up with a good pitch that actually makes sense. She's in that age where she thinks things are funny and they're not that funny. So we'll see how that goes. We might surprise you with a pre-recorded something. We'll see. All right, so that gives me 10 of the Santa stash of surprises, the silver ones in London. Let's go ahead and mark that in. Go ahead and we'll do Queens next. So copy and paste Queens. Back to the inventory. All right. Moving on. Yeah, it really seems like I've done a lot, but then you zoom out and look what's been done. It doesn't look as much. Kind of sad. Kind of sad. Hey, Obi-Wan. Thanks for joining. I'm just showing everybody the joys and fun of owning a factory and Metaventures in Upland and how you get your assets from the factory to your showrooms and what it takes to then list said access. Still waiting for your cart to be approved. How long have you been waiting? Hopefully it's pretty quick. Hopefully you don't have much longer for that. I do love that they are into the part of having user generated carts. That's pretty cool. I think the user generated cars are going to be, I think there's going to be more mechanics behind that, and that will be a little further off because they sound like they want to have your skills and your cars evolve as you continue to manufacture. And I'm going to be intrigued to where they go with the personal cars. Ooh, 8 weeks and one rejection further. That's tough. I know, being a beta metaventurist, some of the approvals were brutal, the rejections. The frustrating things is when you get rejected. I wonder if I can find it. Is it ID3? Let me find, I had a, what? I can't even remember it. I'll have to, you see, now you just sent me down a rabbit hole and stopped my whole thing. Let's see here. I want folders. Give me this folder. Oh, no. In this folder, map assets, Christmas. Let's see here. What did I call it? That's always a tough part. I think it was this one. Yeah. All right, now let me see. Let me find my two examples. So it got me all over the place. Let's see here. I really don't think. I think right now, Upland's not going to nerf the power of the Sparklet in game just because it's new to the market, and we all anticipated that from wherever it was released at, that we would see a dip. And the market just has to play it out and stabilize. I think once the market really stabilizes and they have some runtime and some consistency, then they will adjust it. I really hope that they don't adjust it this soon. I would call that a knee-jerk reaction. I really think that they're going to wait a while just to see where it levels off. And then once they see a stable price of Sparklet on the exchanges, then they'll make the changes. That's what I'm thinking. And that's what I'm thinking, and that's what I'm hoping. That is what I'm hoping. Let's see here. I want this, and I want that. And then I want... it's not there. Oh, where is... I don't have the other reference. That stinks. That stinks, that stinks, that stinks. But either way, what is going on here? Oh, now I had this design, and this is Ding Dong Mary Up High. It was a present by a balloon tied to a string supported by a pole. And it was rejected because it floats. And then this was pointed out to me that there is the party balloons. These balloons look like they're floating. They're tied to a table, but they look like they're floating. And it's just the inconsistency on the rejections that kind of frustrate me. There's another asset that's out there that has a floating balloon in it. It's a table with 4 balloons off the corners. Now, if those are allowed, this should be allowed. I am going to resubmit this and see if I get any different response, but they need to be consistent with their rejections, because I think this would be pretty cool for Christmas. Have a couple floating presents that are suspended off the roof, or I don't know, whatever. So that was my little rant and little sidetrack. We'll go back to the fun here of moving map assets. All right. Slowly but steady. Oh, look at that. As we're moving assets, the factory's still churning stuff up. Here's a new item just fresh out of the factory. It's just taunting me that I'm not moving things fast enough. It's saying, you're not moving fast enough. We're making more. Yep, we do have ornaments with flying stuff and UFOs. Yeah, it's just the consistency that I would like to see on the rejections. And it really sounds like they're not cleaning rooms. And my 4-year-old's running around screaming John Cena. Yep. It's very interesting what the older ones teach the younger ones. All right. Moving right along. Yep. And hopefully our friends in Europe get to tune in. I know they don't get to catch live things from us too often. And I do love interacting with them. Moving along. And let's see, it's only been 50 minutes that I've been moving ornaments for. I did have a starting point. And one of the kids stole my pens again. Let's see here. Got to take my tally here. Make sure I have, so I don't forget. Let's see here. We moved on. Of course that doesn't work. They always steal my stuff. Kids always steal my stuff. Let's see. 9, 8, 8, 8, 5, 10. I'll catch the grand total. Oh, you sent me pictures of the cart. Where is it? There we go. In Discord. In browser. And I like the cat cart. That's pretty cool. I love how you use that as the little bar as a tail. That's pretty awesome. What did they reject it for? Did you mess something up in the specs? Did they tell you something was wrong with it? I'm curious to see what the reasoning was. Was it something obvious or something you were unaware of? And that's something I should do too, is just make a video of submitting models. I do have some new models, some variants of my models. Oh, low quality texture on the base. Okay. Yeah. That's irritating sometimes when it's just that half step. All right. I heard a dad and I heard a shh. So what that means is I'll be back in 2 minutes as I discover what's going on in the kitchen. All right. They were trying to get more ice cream. Don't blame them. It's summertime. So they were like, shh, don't tell dad. Caught him red-handed. That's good dad ears right there. So, all right. I am back. And we're 54 minutes in. All right. Moving. Hey, thanks for joining. If you're always curious of the joys of running a factory and Metaventure in Upland, ooh, speaking of that, I didn't see my dues. Oh, snap. Don't all snap me. What? All right. Uh-oh. Well, it is a new month. They are huge. I'll post, I'll show you again. My factory is 4,600 up square. So that is a huge factory. Got a lot of room for inventory. I forgot to look. Oh, I did not pay July dues? Oh my. That's horrible. That is horrible. Oh, I got closed for not paying 0.18. I swore I paid July dues. Well, that stinks. Queens. Oh man, that's just a crazy UpX value. Can't believe I let these close for such outrageous dues. Oh man, I'm glad I didn't do the Christmas in July sale. And nobody told me. Ah. All right, 160. That's not bad. Queens. And then I do track all my expenses for Metaventure dues too. I'm weird like that. And then Spooky Dookies in Los Angeles, 152.4. And that was closed also. Oh, so sad. I thought I was on it. I guess not. Because they even send you emails. And Upland is nice to warn you that, hey, you have 24 hours to pay your dues. And you have 24 hours to pay your dues or they're going to close your Metaventure. They did send an email. It got lost with all my manufacturing's complete and registrations for all that stuff. So yeah, that's on me. That is on me. And I know the first of the month that they're due. I do like to pay them when I'm sitting by my spreadsheet and are able to record what my dues were for the month, so I can track those over time also. I think we listened to this one for 25 minutes too. I'll switch the music up as we get this one done. Let's see here. Let's see here. All right. So did I do much in Paris? No, I got the bundles and I had to work and I was in a meeting. Usually I align my lunch with the city releases, but that just didn't happen this time. So I missed out on it, but there's still plenty to mint. Some of the areas that I was interested in looks like they sold out fast and they were actually a collection. OB1. So this property I do have in Queens is 1,200 up square. It's absolutely huge. And I saw the volume of assets and block explorers, just the concentration of shops and how well they do in Queens. I thought this was definitely a spot to have in a place that I could have a lot of inventory on. Definitely wanted to make sure I had that. Your cart factory is sitting on a nice 4293 up square property in Kansas. Oh, and that's huge, is being able to get some of those bigger properties in Kansas or even in Memphis. They have some huge properties that you could get on the cheap that would be great for manufacturing. And as you can see, that property was also a little, I wouldn't say it was that expensive, but you know, it was a pricier style property. And, you know, just remember only 25% of Paris was released. There's still 8 collections left to be revealed. You would expect some more of your limited, exclusive, and standards are going to be available to find. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Yeah. Let's see here. And this will be map asset number 49 that we have moved since we started. Be a little further along, but I did get down that rabbit hole about floating assets. Let's see here. All right, so that was why. Oh, nobody told me I stopped sharing the screen. All right, there we go. Just looking at me, looking at my screen. Very weird. All right, so we put 10 of those in Queens. Go ahead, update my spreadsheet. Let's move on to Chicago. I do like the location of my Chicago store. The inventory back here. So, oh, actually, we moved 59. I'm sorry, we've moved 59 assets in the last hour. And off to my Chicago. This is another good sized property. I like this one because I can segregate it. Here's my Halloween, and then back there's my Christmas. The bundles that I did buy, the pre-sale bundles, I didn't get anything special. I got just a little over the value of the bundles that I did buy. I can't complain. And I do find it, the more I think about it, it's very interesting. It gives you more points to jump off in a city release. But then it also gives you more, not only properties for you to jump off on, but it also gives more properties for you to send to. And if somebody got one of the neighborhoods you were looking to target, it's a lot easier to just send to that right away, or time it so you can float that way, or have your property a little closer so you can float that way. I think there's a lot of advantages to it, but it's also going to make competition for the sought after neighborhoods a little harder. And it's been a long time since they did this style release with the collections. That was fun, as long as you can't see the collections ahead of time on the chain. I know they had issues with that before, that some people were able to see the chain sleuths were able to see it and were able to make some good moves there. Now this property's a little bit bigger. Obi, when you weren't here when I was talking about it, usually for my showrooms, I like to have 500 up square or greater sizes. And I do have another property. Those are bought. Boo. I was eyeing these two properties. They were very nice. They used to be open. But I do have another property right around here for another showroom. Sooner or later, I want to make one. And this is one of those cool properties that's split by a street. I own, but both these parcels are on this one property. I could put a showroom on one side and then just fill the inventory lot on the other side. I thought this was going to be a pretty cool one. Once again, it's over 500 up square, but there were some nice big properties here in this Chicago area. And the reason I like the Chicago area is right here. You're close to downtown. You're close to, I'll always call it the Sears Tower. I forget what they call it nowadays. Oh, that's not the Sears Tower. That's the other tower. Man, I always thought that was the Sears Tower. Oops, I messed that one up. So, but still, it's by Landmark, and it's close to downtown. Anyway, all right, back to my factory. Here we go. Oh. All right. But as you can see, it's like two sides of a bus station. Nice. Right. Yeah. Just takes time to move all these. I haven't even got to listing them in the shop. And it's one at a time. And as I said, you know, as for the people that are just joining, one of the features that I would like to see in Upland for the factory owners, the Metaventure owners, is the ability to select it, maybe if it was a 4x4 grid like this, that I can select these 4, put it in a square, or I can select 9 and put it in a square, or a 2x4. Either way, there should be a way that it accounts for its space on the map and being able to line it up on the other property. And I don't know what they have to do from blockchain wise and asset wise of how you could move multiples at once. But Upland's figured out how to do a lot of stuff as they've created this game. So hopefully in the future they do figure that out. And I'm not sitting here for hours on end, moving one piece at a time. Yeah, location. Oh, what did... Oh, I just didn't zoom in. And then after sitting here so long doing it, sometimes you forget what you're actually doing or where you're actually at or what you just did, because you kind of zone out. So it's nice doing this live so you guys can experience this with me, but yet at the same time, I'm talking to somebody and I'm just not sitting here by myself, zoning out. Usually I get the chance to do that while everybody's still sleeping in the morning, or if I'm up after they go to bed. I'll sit here for a little bit, spend a half hour, 45 minutes moving some assets. But it was a busy July for me. As you can see, I had 3 of my Metaventures closed because I didn't pay dues last month, which was crazy. And then, well, with vacations and just a lot of activities going on July, it flew by. Had a golf outing, visiting my in-laws, 4th of July celebration, vacation trip, which was awesome. Getting to see Mars, Utah for the first time after knowing them for 4 years was amazing. Got to spend time with the family, show the kids a little more of the country, and go off. Everybody thinks we went through upstate New York, which is gorgeous, just forest, mountains, hills, great time. Went to Watkins Glen State Park, which is an amazing gorge that you can walk through. They made these nice stairs. There's these these arched bridges, and just this water's wore its way through a gorge, which is an amazing place to go. Took the kids there, and they were troopers. It was 1.5 miles, and I think you climbed like 600 or 700 feet in elevation over this 1.5 miles. There were 832 stairs that you would climb up during this walk, and all the kids didn't complain. They did a good job. My 2 older ones were like, all right, let's walk back down. The 2 younger ones, they just weren't feeling it. And it was starting to get warm outside and crowded. We were able to get there early in the morning when the crowd was low, which made it nice. And when we left, the entryway was just completely packed. I was like, ooh, I'm glad we came when we did. So that was very enjoyable. I don't know. We'll see how long I can keep my sanity moving these assets. So, who did well in Paris? Did anybody end up landing one of these nice collections that were revealed already? Very curious to hear that. Moving. Sometimes I just switch colors of that I'm moving just to break up the monotony of seeing the same thing over and over again. Sometimes I feel that I'm burning the map asset into my retina because I just keep looking at the same style over and over again as I move it. Oh man, that looks good enough. Yeah, some people that were here left already. They're like, this is boring. Yes, this is boring. trying to entertain you as best as I can, while keeping my sanity, while getting my store ready to be getting my store stocked so I can put stuff on sale. Nice, you're playing this game right now as well. What are you moving, Kachow? You're like, I'm doing this, but I'm going to watch you do this too. I love it. Split screen on different monitors. My assets being moved, your assets being moved. I like it. Porta potties, even better. I don't know why I didn't come up with the idea of porta potties, since I'm a vomiting poo that's on fire. That should have been right up my alley. How many porta potties you got to move? Does it look anything like this? Do you got to move something like this? I'm not a person that has anxiety but just looking at all that and knowing how long that will take to move kind of gives me anxiety, and kind of discourages me sometimes from wanting to tackle it. But it's one foot in front of the other, and you make your way through it, and you're done sooner or later. All right. We got 10 silver, move to Chicago. Let's go to Los Angeles next. Another 10. 69 map assets moved. There we go. 69 down. A lot more to go. Ooh, you got 11 different colors and need to move it at least 10 of each other. 10 of each color. What kind of Chrome plugin do you have? I'm very curious. We need to talk about this. We need to talk about this Chrome plugin that helps a little. Or if there was a way to script this. I tried teaching my kids how to do this, but they move like 2 or 3 assets and they're like, I'm bored, Dad. So I tried. I tried that approach. I'm like, hey, this is a video game. Kids like video games. Maybe I can get them to move this stuff. Nope. The attention span's just not there. Doing a monotonous thing is not in their deck of cards. And I submitted all these at the same time, all the different colors when I made this. And it was kind of weird typing out the form, because if you don't list the different variants and you create something similar to it, they'll reject it because it looks too much like a model. So you have to think of all the different styles. So if you want something with different colors, or hey, you want, an item that you have in the right hand held in the left hand. If you want a statue looking left and then you want another one looking right, those are things that you need to put down on the form. But I was like, man, I'm submitting all these at the same time. Do I really have to list all the colors on all the forms each time? I did, just so I didn't get rejected and have to go back and resubmit it, just because the length of time sometimes it takes for the map asset to be approved. So just a process. Just a process. And we're moving along. Let's see, you select the item to move, click my plugin, and select the address to move it to. It puts the address in for me and does a couple of clicks, and then I still have to move it to correct location. Okay, definitely saves your wrist a little bit. The less clicks, the better. Prevents early carpal tunnel. My hand went a little numb. I had it extended a little too far on the desk and left it there. Usually I keep it sitting right on the edge and it works pretty well. But you get lazy, you get bored, you get drowned out. Boredom's definitely sitting in here. And here's what I'm very intrigued with is I wonder if anybody from the Upland team's watching right now, because it is during their office hours, and it's very rare that we stream during their office hours, and hopefully they're seeing our pain as factory owners and Metaventure owners. I haven't even started listing this stuff yet. I still have to go back to all these stores and list these items. That's a fun adventure too. I'll make sure I do at least one or two before I call it quits, just so you get the idea of what it takes to list your items too. First you move them, then you have to list them. Well, first you make them, then you have to move them. Then you have to list them. Oh, and I didn't see my terminals. I wonder how well my terminals did this much. I do have two airport terminals, and one in San Francisco, one in Chicago, and usually I get 30 to 40,000 UpX a month from those, on top of the send fees that you get. And it's just very strange rolling an hour by myself. Just different. Just different. Somebody suggested that I stream this for as long as I can stand it, and that is actually my goal. I'll see how long I can stand it for. Hey, look, we made it through the silvers that were made. Which, so we've been looking at stash, or Santa's stash of surprises here. Which one's everybody's favorite color? Which ones would you put in your yard? I'm not going to pressure you to buy any of these, but just curious, which one's your favorite color? What would you put in your yard if you did purchase one? I don't know. I'm fond of the black and the blue. But the pink, I don't know. I'm actually, it's hard for me to choose a favorite one because I'm like, oh yeah, I really like this one. Then I look at another one, I'm like, nah, but I really like that one. So, not really sure. White. Ah, that tricked you, Ka-chow. That's actually silver. It looks very white. I get it, but it's technically silver. All right, let's see here. Where's the next set of silver? Got our gold, our green, pinks, our purples. All right, there's our next set of silvers. And I'm not going to grab the new one right out of the factory. Just throws off the mint numbers at a location. And I really think people aren't going to be too concerned with these mint numbers just because I'm making so many and I'll be able to make these for years to come. Now with the Sparklet, if it reaches if Sparklet reaches some of the prices that I have targeted and I'm able to pick up a lot, I always wanted to have about between 200 and 250 Spark for being a manufacturer, and then just having as many properties as I have, being able to just fully stake it myself instead of having to rent the Spark. I wanted to have multiple factories, so I had one just making Halloween stuff, one just making my Christmas stuff. I have some other holidays or yard designs that I might do later on. So I wanted to have multiple factories with the capabilities of just churning out all year long. And I just wanted to have also Spark available to rent out as another source of income in the Upland Metaverse. And Sparklet gives you a good possibility, even now at these prices. I'm just being cheap, really, honestly. I have some, I do want to pick some up over the weekend. Then I do have some target prices that I will buy larger quantities of, but it's now very feasible to get to that 250. How much do I have now? Honestly, I only have 18. I bought like 1.5, 1.25 spark over the time it's been there. I always wanted to treasure hunt and pick up more. I did get 9 from the initial spark drop. I got 5,000, a little over 5,000 sparklet for the last the drop that they gave us. I was sitting at 13 and it pushed to 18. And a lot of stuff just comes down to time and money. And right now, it's more affordable than what it was, and I firmly believe that it will be more expensive than what it was, not in the short term, but definitely in the long term. And this is a prime opportunity to really stock up for the early on players. And if you think about it, how big Upland can become, and just the amount of coins that's actually available, it's really gonna be interesting to see Sparklet evolve over the years. I know they'll adjust the capabilities of Sparklet as the price fluctuates on the market, and I bet you they'll have their thresholds of when they make those changes. But it could also set you up well too if something as a hold for profit later too. A lot of possibilities, but once again, not financial advice. I did that one pretty well. All right, that was number 10. All right, we were in Los Angeles. We got 10 in Los Angeles. All right, we got San Francisco left. Let's come over here and stack up San Francisco now. Yeah, I've been made more Mr. and Mrs. clauses for the Christmas in July. I just never got that there. Let's see, 615. I really should just put this address in my sheet, but since it wasn't a spooky dookies, I didn't put it in there. Let's see here. Let's play this game. Where will they put it if I stick this one here? I'm getting lazy, but that's always the odd thing of where they give you to where it's placed once you send it to a location. And I'm always curious where to go. Ooh, where'd they put that? No, I don't like that. They put it up front. That's bad. Uh-oh. That's bad. We'll back you up. We'll move to it once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see here. Where should I mark these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 there. Can I get 10 across here? Let's lay it close and see how we do. Can we get 10 across? We'll see. Are you aware that you can zoom into the map asset using shift to draw a box when you get back to... No, thank you for that hack. Where am I? Right here. Shift. Draw a box. You saved my finger. Thanks, Kachow. Things that you learn. Now, what's the trick to zoom out? Is there a trick to zoom out? I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get 10 across. Wow. And Thank Me Later never watches things like that. So when he complains about the same thing, I'll be like, hey, idiot, don't you know this? So we'll play that fun. Oh, no, went too far right. So we'll play that fun game with him. I'll see if he ever makes anything else. And that will be interesting, is if you can lend out, or if you would be able to assign your map assets to somebody else's factory and they produce it for you. I think that would be cool too. Especially if you have large number runs, or you get to a business that is pretty high in demand. Let's see here. All right. I keep forgetting to change the music after a while. I just zone out. That works so much better. Ka-chow, you're the best. This is a nice little happy tune going on here. Nice positive vibes on a Friday as we suffer through moving map assets from my factory to my different showrooms. Yeah, I'm not going to get 10 across here. I think I'll come up just short. I think we'll get 9. This is awesome. Look at that. Uh-oh. Kids are quiet again. Yeah, probably get in trouble with my wife when she gets home, because they definitely had they had some junk for lunch, but they definitely dug into that ice cream like there's no tomorrow. And they said, we're sharing it. But I'll give it to them. Before they got a scoop of it, they all had their own spoons, but they put it in one bowl and they heaped it together. And the deal was, if you could make somebody else laugh, then you could get a scoop of ice cream. You could get a spoonful of ice cream. And I'll give it to them. They turned it into a game and they just weren't pigging out. I couldn't fault them for that. I'm like, all right, you win. You're actually doing something to earn it. I'm all about earning stuff. And yeah, they just had to make each other laugh. And oh, you see, I fell back into the old trap. I've done hundreds of these things where it was just zoom back in. But they were all laughing at pretty silly stuff just so they could have a scoop, and they were taking their turns. But they do pick on their little sister a lot. The older two team up on her. They were making it a little harder. Luckily, my youngest son will laugh at anything. They cater to the baby and pick on the middle one. It was just me as the older brother, and my brothers didn't have a middle child to deal with. My sister she was the baby in the family, and she had a middle sister, and she said, it was kind of weird because she's a twin. So I don't know. The twins picked on everybody, I guess, is the stories that I heard growing up, even though they were the young ones. Look at that. I've made an hour and a half of moving map assets. How long you been going for, Ka-chow? How long do you usually spend moving these assets around? Do you block off times of your day where you're just moving it one at a time? Shift. Uh-oh. Got little feet coming. I hear the door open. I hear the door close. I'm interested to see which child this is and what they have to say. I hear the footsteps, a little louder. Nine. I told you. 9. You got 9. Even if I move them over, I could move everything over 1, but I'm not going to do that. They'll just be in rows of 9, and I'll live with it. I guess they're not making their presence known. They kind of sneaked in. I hear their little pitter-pattered feet. The door opened again, and now they're leaving. Now I'm very intrigued by this. Were they checking on me to make sure I wasn't on to what they were doing? There we go. All right, we got 10 in San Francisco. All righty. What do I want to move next? I don't know. Maybe I list stuff in the store. Maybe I move stuff. Now, what's really a pain in the butt to move are the candy canes. I'll show you what it's like to move a candy cane. I got 45 in San Francisco. Do I really want to move 5 of these? Queens is easy to move it. Los Angeles is easy to move it. I don't even know where I put the candy canes. Yeah, we'll just do LA. We'll move 1 or 2. I don't even know where I got candy canes. These things are so small. Where do I have candy canes? Thought they were somewhere in these rows. Else, no. Did I get rid of most of the candy canes? Oh, there's some candy canes. Do I have any further this way? Pipsqueaks aren't too bad to move, but these candy canes, they have such a small base. It's challenging. As we will see here as I go to Los Angeles. Nice and hard to grab and move. Where did I even put these things? Oh, I put them all the way up at the front because I'm lazy. I went the wrong direction. Ah. There we go. But yeah, moving the candy canes, not one of my favorite things to do. Los Angeles, I have 11 of them now. Update that. I did get on a little later than I wanted to. What did I do there? Listen to last night's show and then came here. I don't have a set schedule for doing this. I just finished producing all of these and needed to get them on the market. There you go. Hey, thank me later. I am moving map assets, and I've been doing it the last hour and a half. And I have moved 79, 80. I have now moved 80 map assets, maybe 90. I lost track. Lost track of it. Just moving. So I got all the colors at all the stores. Go back and start working the black, I guess. I don't know. Let's see here. Chicago. I was there. London. I lost track of where I was putting all the mints too. Thanks. Appreciate the support. I did thank you though for naming the spooky dookies and all that good stuff. So appreciate that. Helping me with my brand. We'll move gold. I haven't had a lot of gold. Kind of short on the gold, so we'll move the gold boxes around. Or that will irritate me. I should probably do black, blue, gold. Just keep working that way. There we go. We'll just keep working that way. And we'll go with queens this time. Go back to good old queens. Seven of these to move to get me 20. All right, let's go. I forgot the zoom. Control Victor. I don't know. I can't contain the fun that I'm having. Thanks for hanging out there, Kachow, and enjoy your lunch. I'm getting pretty hungry myself. I haven't ate lunch either. I sent the kids to clean their room, and I'm like, I'm going to go stream because this takes you forever. What did I do? See, now I'm losing it. It's been too long moving these map assets. All right, there we go. Back on track. Refocus. Got to move 7 of these. Why is it there? Why did they put that there? Well, that stinks. They changed it on me. Now I got to do this. Oh, that makes that annoying. That makes that really annoying. Why did they change locations on me? That makes me sad. And as I was showing you everyone earlier, I was just doing the easy route of it, of wherever it put me. I was taking them places. I had it set up where it ports it in. I don't know why it changed the place of porting it in all the way up there now when it was giving it to me nice and easy. Oh. You see, I forgot what I was doing. I did move one and I put it in my teleport spot. Makes sense now. All right. I got 10 there. Trees, what's going on? Glad you could join us. I'm just showing everybody how exciting it is to have a factory in Metaventures in Upland as I catch up on moving my map assets from the factory property to my showroom properties so I can build my inventory there. My eyes are starting to cross, looking at the screen too long. Zoom in, there we go. That's 3. Yeah, well, been meaning to apply for yours. Well, here's a sneak peek of all the fun you can have when you get approved and start making stuff. No. And I know this is tongue in cheek. I'm very fortunate to to have been part of the beta for this, and I'm glad that I came up with a concept that I like, that people do like. Got hooked up with a great design team. And I know we're still in the early stages of businesses in Upland, so. But it is time consuming. As you can see, I've gotten close to moving somewhere around 100 map assets in the time we've been here. Talked about some other stuff. Oop, somebody just came burging through the door. We'll see what's up. But now they're all quiet. One, two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I moved my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Said I needed to move 7. Queen says I only had 13. I'm very confused right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8. So I need to move 2 more. Two more and I'm done with the black. And my hand fell asleep again. Yeah, now I don't know how long it takes to get your factory approved nowadays. I know getting new showrooms approved is pretty quick and pretty simple. Usually I've had some within, my fastest one I think was an hour or 2. It was insane. I was blown away by how fast it was. And then I submitted one on a Friday evening, and then it was done by that Tuesday, maybe just where it was. It was late that Friday evening. But the speed that they do get your showrooms out now is pretty good. Happy with that. 1, 2. All right. And then I'll move those other black presents later. All right. I'm debating. Do I just keep moving these assets? Oh, well. You do have a showroom for your ornaments. Okay. All right. Updating the sheet. All right. Now I have 20 in Queens. I got a long time to move that. All right. My eyes kind of hurt. I was really wanting to go a little longer. And I also wanted to jump on here 12 o'clock. I got on a little later than I wanted. It was closer to 12:20, 12:30 that I was able to jump on here. But we can go to, let's go list. Let's show you the fun of listing. I should have just double clicked on the property while I was there. I looked at the time and started thinking about what I wanted to do. All right. So I moved my 100+ map assets in this last hour and 45 minutes. Now it's time to list the map assets. I know this is spooky dookies. I do have a brand for my Christmas stuff. I just haven't been able to, 1, purchase the properties for the showrooms, 2, build the showrooms, and then 3, go ahead and apply for the showroom. So right now I'm selling everything out of Spooky Dookies, Christmas and Halloween. Let's see here. Santa's surprise. Let's go ahead and, ooh, I know somebody that will want model 69. I might work out a side deal for that. All right, so we go ahead and do that. And Santa's stash of surprises. $8,000 UpX. Control copy. It's for sale. All right, done. Now, what I dislike here, so that was model number 79. And I type in Santa. 79 is still there. It takes a minute to process through the blockchain, so you have to remember what numbers you have already done as you move through this. So both of them actually moved out that time, so that was nice. That was a little quicker. And the key here, I'm usually so meticulous when I'm listing my items, especially when I switch over to USD. But I did get got, and I did get got by a sniper. I did price a map asset at the USD price, which was way cheaper than the UpX price. And yeah, just got to pay attention. And I lost count of how many I listed for sale so far, which is nice. You can just go shop now. Oh, I got the OG Santas. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got 6 more. I'll list 10 of these. And this is fun. Ooh, I got mint 31. Oh yeah, that's right. I got anything over 25 I release for sale right away. 41. This is number 5. But I do appreciate everybody joining and watching this very boring but necessary task. And as I said earlier, I just figured why up. Oh, I did get that one, so let's back up. That's what happens when you try to list one that you already listed. Can't believe I had my store shut down and nobody reached out. But it is off season for spooky dookies. Be it Christmas or be it Halloween. We'll do a little August and July. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I got 2 more. 2 more, and I'm calling it quits. Yep, I'm changing my model. I've accepted it. I don't like it, but I've accepted it. I was listing everything 1 for 1, and it is not 1 for 1. I know it. I don't want to move that. So I will adjust the prices. All right, got 10 items. Now, I'm not going to go through right now. My eyes are hurting from staring at the screen, but I'm not going to go through now and list the 100 plus items that we just moved. That is for another day, another adventure. If you like just hanging out with me as I'm moving assets and want to see me do more of this, please let me know, and I'll look to try and jam that into the calendar. But I think that's all I have in me for right now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Let me know if you liked it, disliked it. Takes a lot of time. As you can see, I have a lot of assets still to move, so I can do this plenty more times if you like just talking Upland with me. And hey, I can even bring you on while I'm moving assets and you can talk with me like that. I'm open to that also. Open to any ideas. Just let me know. Definitely don't want to, if you missed last night's show, go check that out. Don't miss this upcoming week's show. Elijah Judah will be the guest, and it should be a lot of fun. Until then, everybody, be safe, have fun. We'll see you out there in the metaverse. Until next time.